Hi, it's Mitch from Pickdawgz.com here with your free pick in the UMBC versus Sacred Heart college basketball matchup on Friday, November 17, 2023. Here on YouTube, I do tons of free pick videos. I do free picks at Sports Chat, Pick Dawgz, on YouTube, social media, live shows. And when you give out that many free picks, you like some games more than others. Those are my premium picks that you can get over at Pick Dawgz under the Premium Picks tab. Use the discount code PICK for 15% off. We also have the Dime Club and Sharp Trading Plays meant for people who make big bets. I know a lot of you do. I make big bets. The only way you can get it is by texting the number you see on the screen. Let's get to this one. UMBC taking on Sacred Heart. I love me some weekday daytime sports, and we got an 11 a.m. Eastern time start, and I don't care who's playing. It's UMBC, though, and Sacred Heart. Really, two teams that, while aren't really household names, these are not bad programs at all. Of course, UMBC was the first 16 seed to beat a number one seed in the NCAA tournament when they knocked off Virginia just a few years ago. And Sacred Heart, these guys are contenders to win the NEC. And I know while the NEC certainly not, the Big 10 or Big 12 or anything like that, these guys are a deep team, and they've got some serious players on this roster. I tell you guys might enjoy yourselves if you tune into this game. You're going to see some very, very good basketball. We saw UMBC take on Louisville in their opener and fell just short in that game, 93-94, getting 7.5, but weren't able to really follow it up against Marist the next time out, losing 65-59 as a 2.5-point favorite. Sacred Heart now, and then they did win an unlined game, so they're 1-2, but their win is an unlined game. Meanwhile, for Sacred Heart, a win in an unlined game, a loss to Iona, but they covered the spread, getting 8.5, and then a win over Holy Cross last time out. But the thing about Sacred Heart that, like I tried to mention to you before, they have a lot of guys who can absolutely play. And they have Gillette, and this guy can score like no one's business. Against Holy Cross, he only had 7 points in that game because they didn't need him to do it. But if they do, this guy can absolutely take over. Thomas, 21 against them. Sobel, 15. It goes up and down the roster, like I said. Sacred Heart is just one of the deeper teams that you'll see in one of these smaller conferences, because generally when you get into these smaller conferences, a lot of these guys, when they're really good performers, they hit the portal right away. For UMBC, it's a transition on the roster, so a bunch of guys that we haven't really seen as much, but the same thing, they have plenty of talent. So while it might be a little bit of transition, it's not going to be a violently down year for UMBC. As we've seen already on the court, they're pretty good. Brown had 23 in that game against Marist, and Banks had 14. I think this one's going to be, like I said, two good teams, a competitive game. I just like the depth on Sacred Heart a little bit more than I like it on UMBC at this point. I think offensively, they shoot at a very good percentage from the floor. They one of the better shooting teams in the nation. I think UMBC, of course, defends the three like no one's business. And then offensively, UMBC can put points on the board as well, and Sacred Heart defends the three. This is kind of two teams that are going to be super efficient. It's going to be a tight game. I'll take Sacred Heart, and that's going to be my free pick. Of course, while you do your picks, putting your bets in, be sure to use our free betting tools at sportschatplace.com. Our betting tools are 100% free, and the way they work, they show you just how often all the bets on the board today actually hit. Then they show you today's odds, and from there, you can assess the risk-reward, putting yourself on the bets that come in the most and pay the most. That's how you make money betting on sports.